Welcome to episode 3 of Cross Court Conversations, your source for trending NBA news and from the couch criticism. I'm Daisy, serving as the moderator, with Mastiff and Banana serving as the host. To kick off this episode, I guess I want to revisit what we did last week. Do either of you guys have one word to express how you feel about the last week of the NBA? So either of you can start.
It was okay. I would. It's not one word, but I'm gonna just say yin and yang
Okay.
because it's the two opposite sides of the East and the West. The East,
Conference final right now, yeah.
yeah, the East is over already because the Knicks won in 4, swept the Cavaliers, but the West is a battle.
And speaking on that, right before giving my word, I just want to say James Harden should be ashamed of himself at this point. I don't know what goes on with him. One in elimination games, but just two in general. And why can't Donovan Mitchell get a good counterpart to follow him in the playoffs? I literally saw a meme and they deep fake Donovan Mitchell and his different teammates over RDC video.
Oh, the RDC video.
Yeah, and I was like, this is because I didn't know how bad it was, and so they just went through the years, and I was like, okay, yeah, that first time around it was Rudy Gobert, and it was Rudy Gobert again, didn't do nothing, and then it was Darius Garland, got his playoffs, and he didn't do nothing. And that was James Harden. For 4 solid games in a row, James Harden didn't do nothing.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous at this point.
That's why I don't understand why they traded for him. I would have kept Garland at that point.
It was so crazy. It was a win now move. You basically got the same player who, at this point, can't improve. At least Darius Garland still had upside because he's young. You don't know what he's gonna turn into yet. Still, James Harden, what he's done for years is what you're gonna get. It made no sense to trade for him.
Yeah, a hot mess. And then, man, I don't even want to talk about that first game. After that first game where they were up like 20 points and then they just could not score and they lost in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, y'all getting off track already. Banana, give us your word and then we can dive into the playoff.
Yeah. No, it's just that Cleveland was trash.
Cleveland was so bad. Cleveland was so bad. It was hard for me to pay attention to how good the Western Conference Finals is. That's how bad Cleveland was. The Western Conference Finals has been pretty solid right now, but right after that game, every day we got a snooze fest because Cleveland sucks so bad. It doled out the excitement of what this conference finals was. And originally it looked like it was going to be good. You know, when New York came back from a big ass deficit, I thought Cleveland was going to fight them. They didn't. It's just, I don't know. My one word though,
or phrase.
I hate to use the same word from last week, but I'm just gonna say lackluster because I don't. It's not. It just ain't entertaining right now. It's not entertaining. I thought it was gonna have more excitement. Maybe the finals will help us out with more entertainment because from the stuff that's going on, the reffing in the Western Conference Finals and that snooze fest in the Eastern Conference Finals, it's lackluster this year.
Okay. Well, then, before y'all go off again, let's go ahead and go into our first segment of the episode, which is our trending topics. And this is just where we discuss the topics at the front of the NBA news. So, since y'all are already there, go ahead and fill me in on what's been happening in the playoffs.
Well, okay. What's been happening in the playoffs is that Cleveland started playing like a JV team once they got to the most important round of the playoffs to make it to.
What's so crazy is not even a good JV team. They play like an uncoached JV team. they just put a bunch of players in there that did all right in the tryouts. It was like, all right, so I go out there and play because our school ain't never been a basketball school for real. We really focus on football, but we're gonna put a bunch of football players on the court and we just let y'all see what y'all do since we gotta play basketball.
They let Josh Hart go off. I don't think I've ever seen Josh Hart go off like that.
Other than when, according to him, when Jalen Brunson's out, he said Jalen Brunson don't pass the ball. So I've never seen him go off with Jalen Brunson on the court. So
yeah, but I that series is just I don't even know what to say about that one. I don't even want to talk about it because that's how bad it was. It's like every time like it got to the point where whenever it came on, I would watch like the first quarter or so, but then I would turn it off and just keep checking the score because it wasn't interesting. It did not like. It just wasn't interesting to me.
After that first game, I didn't watch this series at all.
I tried to watch a little bit of it.
First game, I did not watch this series. I tried to. I turned it on and I was turning it off by the first quarter before the first quarter was over.
They said I think it was game 3. They said James Harden had more turnovers than made field goals.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but the other side though.
Speaking of somebody having more than made field goals.
Yep. Castle.
Oh, SGA.
Oh, SGA.
No, SGA got more free throw attempts got more free throws. I don't know if it was free throws made or free throw attempts that made field goals, but it was one of the two, and both of them are still crazy. He got like 120 free throw attempts or free throws made in the playoffs so far, and only 114 field goals made. I think it was attempts.
All I know is that
if it's made free throws, it's crazy.
All I know is that the refereeing on that side has not been good. Like, did you see the last game where they tried to call for a challenge and the referee didn't let them? They just let them throw the ball in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he was right in front of the referee, like doing the challenge signal. Yeah, it just.
And what's so crazy is RDC made another skit after. So I swear they be so on timing with their skits because they made a skit after game 4
about with the referees
talking about Chet being scared of win big and then getting into the referee being their coach and coaching them how to flop. And then I watched the game after that, and watching that game after that, I was like, this is ridiculous. I was like, flopping is one thing, but it's like these are like you don't just naturally do this on every play. Like, I don't know. It's ridiculous.
I've seen some bad flopping, but it's like it's been an every game thing with OKC, and the refs are letting it happen.
Yeah, you know it's bad when the commentators of the game are questioning the fouls. Like, if that becomes a topic in each game, something's wrong. Like, there's every play they review, they're looking at something, looking at a replay, and they're like, where's the foul? Like, it was a play that Jalen Williams literally was running down the court, runs right into Keldon Johnson.
Yeah.
He runs into him. And Keldon Johnson don't go forward or nothing. He just stands his ground and he falls backwards. I was like, y'all called a foul off of that. It's crazy. I don't understand it. Then when they started whooping Jared McCain's ass at the end of the game, Bismack Biyombo had like a clean block.
That was a clean block.
I don't care if they bumped body and if he fell over, it was a clean block. Foul. I'm like, all right. It don't even matter at this point. They're already up 12, and so this don't matter, and y'all still calling the foul. It's crazy to me.
Yeah,
and I didn't even want to be like this with this series. I swear, I even with all the SGA slander by him getting free throws and all the different stuff, I'd be trying my best not to, because I'm like, it's in the rule books, whatever they play in the game, blah blah. But it just it makes it unwatchable sometimes.
Yeah, because I feel like, so from my knowledge of basketball was that shooting fouls you have to be in mostly a natural shooting form.
Mm-hmm.
Most of his things are not a natural shooting form. It's him just trying to just getting something up to the rim while he's falling in a weird way.
Yeah. And you know what makes me so more upset about it is that the way SGA foul baits, Curry don't even get those. And you know for a fact that Curry was actually trying to shoot that ball. Even when he foul baits, you know that Curry was trying to get that ball to the basket, and he don't even get those calls. I'm like, it don't make sense to me.
Yeah, it'd be so weird when they be like, "That's a non-shooting foul," when it's clearly a shot motion for like other players.
Yes. But SCA, he going to the line.
Yeah, but yeah, but the series, it's still been interesting. Like it's not a clear OKC win.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I still, now I don't know what happened to Wemby last night, but I still think the Spurs are gonna win that series because one, Wemby really only has had one good game. That was the first one. The other three have not been good. I don't think he gives us two more average games.
Average, yeah. Plus, I think
I definitely feel he's going to 7.
Yeah, I think it's going 7, and I have the Spurs winning still.
Yeah, I do too.
But I feel like as long as somebody else goes along with them over there on the Spurs, then I feel like they'll be good. It's just either Wemby's having a good game and others are not having a good game, or others are having a good game and Wemby's not having a good game, but then they lose those games.
Yeah.
So,
and that's why I just feel like Wemby got to start taking over some games at certain points. Like the game yesterday, Wemby didn't have a shot until 3 minutes left in the first quarter. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
How are you touching the rim and don't have a shot attempt? 9 minutes of playtime in this game. Oh, I understand that.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
Now, question, who do you think is taking home the finals trophy? Like overall?
I have my mindset on the Spurs winning the West and then getting to the finals. Because I don't think the East has anything that can deal with either the Spurs or OKC.
Yeah.
So I would say the Spurs. To me, the Spurs.
I don't think the Knicks play good enough defense to be either of these teams because the Knicks don't have just outstanding guard defense. They can guard from wing down, but at the end of the day, Jalen Brunson got to guard one of these players. And if they're playing the Spurs have too many players in their backcourt for somebody not to take advantage of Brunson. Now, I'm not saying they're going to get swept in the finals or anything. They're probably going to get whoever a good series. But I just don't think – I think somebody's going to expose Brunson for the better part of it. And it's not going to be because they got to get him switched over onto him. Because that's what Cleveland kept trying to do, is getting Brunson switched over onto Donovan Mitchell. And the Knicks ain't going for that. So
And then if it's against like OKC, they have like 4 or 5 different players that are picking up full court.
mm-hmm.
So by the time you start getting to the end of the game, clutch time, even if it's close, then he's gonna be tired.
Yeah, and we all know Jalen Brunson is like missed the fourth quarter, so he's not even. I won't say he's saving everything for that fourth quarter, but he still turned something on in that fourth quarter. Not as good, not as much as he did last year, but he still turned it on in the fourth quarter. If you have him wore out by that fourth quarter, it's not going to be looking good for you.
Which, I think is a good thing that is not the same as last year, because now he's not trying to do too much and people are actually helping. Like OG Anunoby has been helping out a lot. Josh Hart helped out in the Cleveland series. Cat is actually playing like he should. Like he should have been playing years ago. So it's like he's getting. There's help this year, but it's still. I don't think it's enough to compete with the 2 top seeds of the West. Because if they go against the Spurs, who's gonna go against Wemby and stop them?
Yeah,
it's not Cat.
How about to say, and with OKC has 2 solid defenders for Cat. So
yeah, and I feel
so
like
they can guard Cat and they can guard Jalen Brunson. I'm like, now it's up to the rest of this cast to do something.
Once OKC goes to that 2 big lineup, that's kind of a cheat code right there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the Spurs win. What about you, Banana?
I'm still going with Spurs.
Spurs.
Yeah.
Well, listen, that was easy consensus to come to. So how about we go ahead and switch gears and talk about how you both feel about the switching from cable to streaming services for professional games.
Listen, I don't like it. And that's based on me growing up with not a lot, and back in the day it being on regular TV.
And so I'm not gonna lie. At first, I wasn't really caring about it at first. But the reason I originally brought it up is because I go to a little corner store almost every day after work. Whether I'm getting some little roasted peanuts or a little drink or whatever I'm getting before I come back to the house. It's right by the house. And I talked to this man in there that known me since I was a little kid about basketball every time I go in there. And he was highly upset that he couldn't watch one of them games before the conference finals because it was strictly on Prime.
Yeah, I can see that.
So it's I can understand. So like I like it in the sense of like the WNBA games because it's getting them more exposure because
more money.
ESPN and all the services are they were real weird with how they aired WNBA games. Not gonna lie, they're real weird about it. So I like it for that. But and even if they just had it for like a split of both for the NBA games or whatever, because a lot of people are going away from the cable route and everything like that. They only have streaming service and stuff and they don't watch regular TV. That's cool too, but don't just take it from the cable people.
Yeah. And it's I understand the moves because that's more revenue. You can negotiate your contract and that's how players get paid more also. But I feel like it's a little too money hungry. Because now there's families out there that don't have that service. But they really love basketball, but they can't watch it. Like literally, I used to, once they swapped it from regular TV to cable, and we didn't have cable, I used to have to wait until around Christmas when they would start showing the games on ABC.
Yeah.
And then I would be able to watch basketball.
I had a similar thing too. If it wasn't like the finals or Christmas time, I was not really getting to see much of these games for real. So, and as a Kobe fan when I was younger, that was really upsetting for me because I went through a whole season of not really being able to watch Kobe, and then him being in the finals against Detroit and getting to watch all of those games because they was on TV. But so
yeah. And I think that's probably why I never got into basketball sooner than I did, is because it wasn't available for me to watch like that. But yeah,
and that's what they're gonna be doing to a lot of unfortunate kids that just got cable right now. They come home and watch. Like, and I know a lot of these kids come home watching YouTube and stuff like that anyway. But for the ones that actually watch TV, now they're not gonna get to see the games and stuff. So,
Well, listen, hopefully those kids, their parents have a good bootlegger, who be breaking fire sticks for them so they can watch the NBA for free and be inspired to be the next Kobe's and Giannis's and Steph Curry's. I'm not encouraging that, but I'm just saying.
I mean, are fire sticks still a thing? Because like every fire stick I don't even all done kaput at some point. So I didn't even know they were still dropping fire sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we still have ours.
It still works.
Yeah, I mean,
how long y'all had it?
We've had it for some years now.
I'm about to say that sounds like a good minute by the pause.
Once you have it for a while, it does get a little bit slower, but I mean, we mainly have it for like YouTube and stuff, like just
Yeah. Legal reasons. We use our Fire Stick apps legally.
Crunchyroll and stuff like that. Yeah, that's.
Did not use mine legally. I didn't go to the movies for years because of the fire stick. Now, was I watching it with people standing up in the film? Yeah, but I was okay with that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm glad you graduated from that. But listen, this brings us to our last trending topic, which is post-season coach changes. I feel like there's been a couple that have happened since our last podcast, and I just wanted to hear your guys' thoughts about it, and then let you guys rant on about what coach changes you would have made for your teams.
Okay, so I think since the last podcast, the Pelicans signed Jamal Mosley, the former Orlando Magic coach. Jason Kidd got fired from the Dallas Mavericks coaching position.
Yeah.
Chicago is still looking for a coach. He's been there for some years now, and it's crazy because he did get them to the finals once.
But so the thing about that is, what has been said on social media since his firing is that he is a great X's and O's guy, but he is very insufferable.
Listen,
everywhere else.
I know because he used to be the coach of the Bucks.
Yeah, so that's what the issue is with him, is that he's not a good players coach. He's a good X's and O's guy.
My thing with coaches like that is like ex-players becoming coaches. It's when you're great as a player, and he was a great point guard. You can't teach greatness. Like that's why I don't think like LeBron would be able to be a coach, because some things are just innate with you as the person that you can't really get across to other people.
And it's like ways that you think that it's just other people ain't thinking like that. You can't make players think how you think about certain stuff. So,
you know who I think would be a good coach? Rondo.
Who's that? Oh no, Rondo would be a great coach. And I hate he had his legal stuff go on that he had happen, because he was coaching high school at a point, wasn't he?
I
believe so. I know he coached the AAU team.
Yeah, I think he coached his son's team. And then like this past season, he was on the Bucks. Well, he wasn't like a coach, like assistant coach, but he was on their staff a little bit.
Yeah,
That's how Ryan Rollins on the Bucks, he progressed the way he did because of Rondo. So
yeah.
I think Rondo would be a great coach if he got the opportunity. The open coaching positions right now is Orlando Magic and the Chicago Bulls are the two that I know of, and Dallas. So 3 openings right there. I feel like Sam Cassell should get a shot somewhere.
Yeah.
I
honestly don't feel like Orlando should have fired their coach.
Me either, but the rumors out of Orlando was like that Paolo and him didn't get along. So they were saying like even if they were saying like even if they got past the first round, Detroit in the first round, they probably still would let them go once they lost. But I don't know if you have a coach that gets like, listen, winning solves a lot. You know, y'all dealt with injuries the whole season, and you were able to scrape your way into the play-in and win those games to get to that first round and give the number 1 seed in the East a fight. I don't know if your next coach will be able to do that.
Yeah, and like what he basically brought them out of the dirt with 2 players. They basically just added Franz and Paulo, and it didn't necessarily become championship contenders, but they became like solid playoff team.
And that was, and this series was with Franz getting injured and having to sit out again. Yeah. So to have your team still put up a fight against the Pistons, who was still a disappointment at the end, but you put up a fight against the number 1 seed in the East in the first round, and you lost not because they were the better team, because they were the better team, but it's mainly because you're young and inexperienced in the playoffs, and you don't know how to close games out. And that,
which is the same reason that Detroit lost the next series.
Yeah. So, yeah, if I was Orlando, I would have kept them. But, you know. But who do you think would be a good coach out there in the ethos of the NBA right now?
So right now, honestly, because of the way basketball is trending towards, I honestly feel like somebody needs to give another one of these college coaches a chance. And I know some of the people who haven't had a bunch of greatness, like Billy Donovan's been okay.
I feel like
Brad Stevens just came in.
I feel like Billy Donovan in Chicago just wasn't a good situation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if he goes somewhere else, then he should be decent.
Did a good coach. So the thing about Billy Donovan is I think he coaches too old now. Like, with how the style of the NBA is like changed too, I don't think Billy Donovan can coach that way. Like, it's a shooting league now. Billy Donovan likes his big men.
Even though he was never really blessed with one over there. Like, Vucevic was a big, but he wasn't like a big man.
Yeah.
He was like a stretch
like
big.
And I think also Billy Donovan got a shot in the NBA way too quick. Like, I think they really underestimate how good those Florida teams was that he won those championships with. Like, their entire starting 5 ended up in the NBA. I just, like, it's a crazy team. I can't put a whole bunch of that on coaching. Like, you had Al Horford, who's still in the league. You got Jakeem Noah. Jakeem Noah won. He won DPOI.
Oh, Joakim Noah? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wanted to put player, but yeah.
You had Corey Brewer, fringe 3-and-D guy in the league, stayed in the league for years. I'm blanking on the rest of their team right now, but they had an entire starting five that ended up in the league. So like I'm just like that felt very Calipari. Like John Calipari wouldn't be a good NBA coach because one, he don't do much coaching. So like he just is a great talent scout. I think that Billy Donovan had that too at Florida. Now Brad Stevens, like I said, was a great coaching hire from what he was, because I know two of those players made it to the league. Sheldon Mack didn't last too long, but
from
Gordon
Butler.
Hayward,
He was at Butler.
yeah. Gordon Hayward came in and had him a solid career in the league. And Brad Stevens came in and his mind's so good. Now he's what is he with the Celtics?
Is he
GM?
I think he's the GM now.
Yeah, I think he's GM now. So like obviously his NBA mind was great, but his coaches like and I hate it because Danny Early doesn't want to coach in the NBA. He wants to coach in college. Danny Early would be a great he's a UConn coach, would be a great NBA coach. And I don't know what kind of bag somebody got to offer him to try it, but maybe Chicago has that bag. Because like the way the league's moving towards, like I feel like you got to bring in some of these college systems to get these young guys playing NBA level now. Like I was talking last week, the good coaches in here bringing in these guys that fit perfectly in their system, and they're running systems like college systems and everything. So
yeah, I think I would like to see Mark Jackson get another shot somewhere.
Mark Jackson would also be a good. Is this with him? I don't know. I don't even know his coaching style because his stint was so short.
Yeah. I would like to see Jerry Stackhouse get a shot. He's been out there in the ethos as well, being an assistant coach. Chris Quinn over from Miami's coaching staff.
Yeah,
I feel like he would be good.
Only reason I feel like Jerry Stackhouse ain't gonna get a shot is because his stint in college was so horrible. He didn't have much success.
Yeah, but I mean, when he was coaching like the Toronto G League team, he took them to the finals and won. So he could he could coach. It could have just been different situations for him.
Could have. As I say, also with college, it's a little different because you gotta still recruit these players to come in and play your system, but maybe he does work out better with players that are earning a paycheck, or like the G League players who are trying to earn them a spot in the NBA. Maybe he does better with those players.
But he's on Golden State's coaching staff, right? Assistant coach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, with their whole coaching staff, I don't know what factors he brings into the coaching. I hope not much for his sake, because I'd be very disgruntled with the coaching decisions. Steve Kerr. I've always been, though. That's the crazy thing. I've always been disgruntled with how Steve Kerr coaches, because I don't. Steve Kerr has kind of like a save him for the end type coaching style. Like if Curry is coming in and just going crazy in the third quarter, my mental says keep him in. Keep him in this third quarter to like, okay, we gain on whatever, Curry getting hot or whatever. Keep him in. Don't take him out and try to hope that he keeps that rhythm for this fourth quarter for us to make a stronger push. Like, I don't know. There was a point in time where the Warriors made great second half adjustments. That's why they had a little stint of games turning into blowouts in the third quarter because they come out and blitz you. And at some point, he just got away from trying to let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
If his players weren't coming out shooting, going crazy like they was, he'd take them out for the fourth quarter, and that don't always work because as much as Curry can make any shot, he is also still a rhythm shooter. When Klay Thompson was definitely a rhythm shooter. If you let Klay get in a rhythm, the game is over with. Curry, yeah, he can go cold and heat back up and start making shots and everything, but they're still rhythm shooters. I never understood breaking a rhythm.
You know, some coaches are like that. I don't know why. It's like the players that don't feed the hot hand.
Yeah.
Like I never understood when teams stop passing to the player that's hot.
Mm-hmm. And I don't understand that in any sports because it's also my biggest gripe in football with certain coaches. It's like we got a good thing going on. Like feed this until they show they can stop this. That's how I be wanting coaches to coach sometime in NBA. Like obviously they're showing right now that they don't have an answer for him.
Yeah, run the well
Run
dry.
the offense through him until they show they have an answer for him. If they don't show it, then hey, he just gonna go crazy this game. I don't know why coach be going against it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But as far as coach for Chicago, my bad, Daisy, good job.
No, go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know what they should do for a coach because Chicago damn near dumpster fire right now.
I mean, they finally fired their GM. So,
yeah.
So we'll see.
They should have stopped being upset with Michael Jordan and just let him bring some money to the city because he wanted to be that man never really wanted to be in Charlotte. I don't care if he was from there. That's not where he wanted to be at. He knew where his money would have resided at.
Yeah.
So I was just going to ask you, Master, how are you feeling about the Bucks new coach?
I think that the Taylor Jenkins signing was good, especially with the amount of openings that happened after certain losses in the playoffs and whatnot. I think they jumped on it early because right now it's just a terrible trend of recycling coaches and not going to find new coaches out there. And I feel like out of the bunch right now, Taylor Jenkins is probably the better coach. So you compare him to Billy Donovan, Jamal Mosley. Who else lost their job? Whoever was over there with the Pelicans. And just they jumped on it.
I know you can remember his name. Yeah.
Yeah, so they jumped on Taylor Jenkins fairly early. And he has a good track record with helping players get better. He has some really good play, like some rookies start over there. The guy Coward, that's his last name. I forget his first name, but he was a rookie that started last year before he got fired. And then the year before that, Jalen Wells was a rookie over there before he got injured. And he's been able to help the young players out and get better. The only thing is right now is just that it's an uncertain future for the Bucks right now with the Giannis thought looming above everybody's head. But I feel whether Giannis is there or not, he's going to coach his way and focus on development and defense, which not a lot of coaches on the Bucks really focus on.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good signing.
The main thing is with bringing a coach into a situation like that, in the situation that Giannis actually stays, is them not being afraid of that star player. I feel like that is very important. Because I mean, even if it's bumping heads from time to time, I mean, star players gonna do that. Phil Jackson, Kobe used to bump heads all the time.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta come in as a coach that's not going to be afraid to talk to your star player.
Yeah,
And I feel like that's one of the reasons why he was on the outs up in Memphis, is because of the way he coached John Morant and stuff like that. I don't think John Morant liked it, but Giannis liked being coached hard. Like that's why he enjoyed Jason Kidd.
Mm-hmm.
Like he really enjoyed Jason Kidd because Jason Kidd actually coached him like the old day coaches.
Yeah.
So
and that's what with Giannis's like upbringing, his story, all the different stuff. I from the outside looking in can understand that that's the type of coach that Giannis needs. Giannis needs him like a high school, like college type coach that's like not he'll just run y'all X's and O's. I need somebody to push me to work harder and everything, because that's what I know. I know working hard.
yeah,
You just come in and let me do whatever I want to do, then I just get uninterested with the whole season.
Also, I think it's gonna fall on, if Giannis does stay, it's gonna have to fall onto like Bobby Portis or someone to actually be in his ear and be that person that be like, hey, you gotta focus, you gotta lock down, because Chris Middleton was that player. Like Chris Middleton was the one that they went to war with a lot, all the time, and so he was able to talk to Giannis in a way that other players aren't able to. And now that Bobby Portis has been there for some time, they won a championship together. He'd be the perfect person and be like, "Hey, G, you just gotta like lock in."
And I was gonna say, speaking of Bobby Portis, we don't ever talk about him much in the Bucks, and it just made me realize how do you like him?
Okay, so I have a love-hate relationship with Bobby Portis because if he gets the ball, he's like a post-scoring ISO big. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't look the pass, but when he's hot, he's hot. So I feel like he's been good for Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what troubles he had in Chicago, but coming to Milwaukee after his stint with the Knicks was good.
Why don't I remember Bobby Portis in the Knicks jersey?
Yeah, he was on the Knicks for a little bit.
I don't remember that at all. It's like all I remember is Chicago and Milwaukee with Bobby Portis.
Because it was Chicago, Knicks. I don't think he was with the Knicks for that long.
But yeah, the reason I asked you about Bobby Portis is because I don't know if it's because Bobby Portis stays so out the way or whatever, and I just wanted to hear from a Bucks fan, because media-wise, I never, like, every player that has been on the Bucks, or basically any NBA team, but I'm just speaking Bucks in general right now, I hear some every season about, we need to move him. He's not a good fit. He's not this. He's not that. I never hear anything about Bobby Portis. So I'm like, maybe the Bucks fans are talking about him, and I just don't know about it yet. But like, I never like how they talk about Julius Randle or even Bam when Bam has a slow up. It's like I never hear that about Bobby Portis.
No, there's an area of the fan base that says that we should move on from him.
Yeah, that's why I was like, if there had to be any talks, it had to just be in like Milwaukee fan base or whatever, because I never hear anything.
Like literally, if there was a trade happening, they would be like, you could throw Bobby Portis in there.
Yeah. And that's why I know once, if he was in a trade or something like that, or went to a different team, then I know a bunch of talks going to happen. But I was just like, I never hear like nothing about, like, because Draymond still shows that he can play top tier basketball. I'm like, media talks about Draymond 24/7. Like even when Chris Middleton was there before he was gone and anything like that, it was talks about something happening with Chris Middleton. I was like, I never hear anything about Bobby Portis. I was like, maybe it's just stay out of the way.
The thing with Chris was, I think it was just because of the injuries piling up that they were okay with moving him.
Yeah.
But Bobby Portis, yes, he's one of the ones that they like to throw in trade talks as well. But he's been consistent on the Bucks as far as output. So I'm not against moving him, but he's one of those players where I feel like he's one of those steady-handed people for the Bucks. How Chris Middleton was back in the day, where you can give him the ball and he can slow the offense down, especially after you go a stint of not being able to score. So
I also feel like Bobby Portis can turn into a Udonis Haslem on the team at some point, because there was a lot of years that Udonis Haslem was just filling a roster spot, but it was because of the wisdom that he had and to be able to talk to the young players and all the different stuff like that. So
yeah.
Who was my guy that was like that? Was it Jason Terry?
Jason Terry, yeah.
I miss him.
Slick forgot he was in the Bucks jersey. Westside was also kind of like that, but Jeff Teague don't like nobody. I was like,
Jeff Teague, funny.
Yeah, Jeff Teague is hilarious.
After we won a championship, he was walking down the hallway saying he got a A on a group project without doing anything.
The man said he went home and played 2K up. It's crazy.
Well, okay, so so it's so funny because he made it seem like after the Bucks won the championship, nothing happened. Which, okay, nothing probably happened, but you still got to remember it was still during the COVID.
Yeah.
So of course nothing's really going to happen. Like Giannis isn't going to go anywhere because he got a wife and kids at home. If he got COVID, Thanasis was at the parade, but he was way off in the distance, sitting on the truck by himself because he had COVID. So he wasn't even he couldn't even be a full part of the parade. He was off in a distance, sitting on the truck, kind of just enjoying it. So it's it was still during COVID. So you're not going to no strip club or anything like that. You're where there's gonna be a lot of people. You're not going to go out and do party. It's just at that point in time of how things were, you can't do much.
Yeah.
They made it sound like it was just weak, but it's there were conditions to it.
I mean, I know, even with it being COVID time and them might not be doing anything like that, that shit still went as weak as OKC celebration last year. That was the weakest celebration ever I've seen for a fan base that's been begging their teams to win something for years.
See, y'all got rid of Clay, and then all the celebrations went downhill.
It really does. Because I'd be expecting if your team win a championship, unless it's somebody that's just y'all been winning championships or something like. Well, I mean, the Warriors still go crazy if Curry win another one, but I'd be expecting everything to look like the Raptors every year if they win. When they won, that's what I'd be wanting them to look like. Matter of fact, I honestly, even though I picked the Spurs to win, I really hope, I in my heart of hearts, I hope New York wins, because New York gonna act a donkey. That's what I want to see.
No, that's gonna be.
I want to see that.
There's gonna be riots out in the street.
Yeah, New York gonna go crazy if they win. And from the Spurs, they're OKC. I don't really see that celebration happening. So I really want New York to win just because I want to see that celebration.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing that celebration because I know they're gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Shoot, they crazy now. They ain't didn't even make it back to the finals. So now it's the first time in 27 years, but still, like,
Right? It's been since what?
it's
It's been since 91.
99. It's been. I think it's been 99. I think they went in 99.
I think it was 91. I think that's what I saw.
It was during the lockout season. So whatever season that was, because they only played like 53 games in the season, something like that. I'm checking real quick.
The last time the Knicks made the finals, yep, it was okay, 99.
Yeah, that's I know it was in the lockout season because I think they played the Spurs.
The
I
98,
think that's
99
the David
season.
Robinson championship. He won without
face the Spurs.
Yeah, Tim Duncan might have been there already. I can't remember when Tim Duncan came in the league, but it was that championship with the Spurs. So
yeah, they made it to the finals as an 8th seed.
Mm-hmm.
I knew there was another lockout season at some point, but I didn't know the year. Like I knew like the 2011 season was the lockout year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why that's the main reason I remember. That's what they always say is the lockout season. Blah blah. And so they basically try to treat it like the bubble ring, which I mean, granted, the 8th seed made it during the bubble championship also. So
oh, Daisy, the lockout. The 2011 lockout, where they only played 66 games instead of the full 82, was because of the collective bargaining agreement, I believe. Mm-hmm. So they couldn't come to a solution on the agreement. So the season started late. Right? Yep. Yeah, it started late, so it didn't start at right on time in like October like it normally does. So they only played 66 games that year.
Which was that the year the Mavs won?
2011, yes.
I believe that's that Dirk ring.
All right. Well, then, with the ending of that segment, let's go ahead and pivot into our social media pick and roll segment, where we pick up topics from posts we see on social media and roll with it. So, what I've been hearing is that y'all's favorite reporter has been heating up social media lately. Can you tell me about this whole shams leaking situation?
I'll let you go, Banana.
I was like, I don't know why I got irritated as soon as and we talked about this beforehand, and still as soon as you brought the topic up, it just irritated my spirit. I just do not like Shams at all, bro. So the news that he had come out is that before they announced before they announced MVP, he leaked it at like 6 o'clock that morning.
Yeah. So, but also apart from that, because I believe for some reason I feel like did I speak on that last week? On Shams leaking the MVP?
We probably just talked about it, or did we just talk about it in the Discord?
No, we spoke on Shams, but it wasn't about the MVP thing because that hadn't happened yet.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to make sure because I felt like I already had said it, but yeah. So there the MVP announcement. Shams leaked who won the MVP at 6 o'clock in the morning, and this brings my issue with him is because he leaks stuff a lot of time, and I understand like that's part of his job and different stuff like that, but he leaks stuff that doesn't need to be leaked. We were gonna know who the MVP was in a few hours. That didn't get you any more press or anything by leaking it early. The things you're supposed to leak early is like, oh, when Jason Kidd got fired. That's when I should see Shams as the first person making this announcement.
Yeah.
coach firings, trades, things like that. That's when you should be the first person making the announcement, not the MVP. Like they got whole television broadcasts, like social media. They got everything set up for this. You just ruined the whole day for the MVP by leaking in the morning time. And honestly, it would have been a better leak if it wasn't SGA winning it. Like, if it was anybody else's name, maybe I could have got with it more. Like if they had announced Wemby as the MVP and he said that, because I didn't think that was going to happen the whole time. No matter how much they were talking about the debate back and forth about who was winning MVP, I thought SGA was winning MVP.
Yeah.
No matter who I wanted to win it, I thought that's what was going to happen. So you could have, if it was anybody else, Wemby, Jokic, even they said Luka, like that would have been some leakable information.
And like I think his reasoning was like, well, I'm a reporter. If I get some information, I'm going to share it. Like, yeah, but have some decency, because like you saying at 6 a.m. takes away all of the takes away all of the not even surprise element, because I figured SGA was going to win. But the celebratory moments later on, because now the whole world knows at 6 a.m. when the game doesn't start until like 7 at night. And so now you're just going the whole day like, well, I mean, we already know who's going to win, so we don't really care about the trophy ceremony or anything like that.
Yeah, and it's like if we talk NBA draft, right? Say for some reason Shams find out who the Wizards, for a fact, were not going to draft AJ. That I find that to be leakable information. Teams not going with AJ, blah blah. Because that honestly, now the teams behind them are like, oh, should we be trying to make moves to get them? Blah blah. Things like that. That's legal. If he came out and said that the Wizards are 100% without a doubt going to draft AJ, we know that. That's who's been looking like the number one pick forever now. That's like, I just he does so much to stay relevant. I just like, you're like towing the lines of reporter and TMZ.
It's one of those things where just like he says something, and then it's like it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now what? And then he says he'll have some type of caveat about why it didn't happen, and then he'll say something again about the same thing happening. It's like it didn't happen. Like I'm speaking more on the Bucks thing, because this is like the whole Giannis situation.
Mm-hmm.
Every time it was like it was a reason why it didn't happen after he said it would happen, and it was just another excuse.
Yeah, because at that point, that's all he has is that. Because whatever your source was that you get information from either wasn't credible, or you was just throwing crap at the wall, hoping it was sticking, because it was looking like Giannis was just disgruntled, which he was, but it's like you just throwing crap at the wall and hoping it stuck.
I mean, and him being disgruntled was more about just not winning, which is fine. Like, star players, they want to win.
Yeah,
but he was making it seem like it was like something nefarious happening in the organization. Yeah.
And that's what just to pivot from Shams a little bit, just because I know we in our social media section, and still staying in this whole reporter lane and everything, and even in our space right now, what we're doing on the podcast and everything. Have you been seeing the Kenny Beecham situation going on?
The last thing I saw about him was him saying like he's coming around a little bit more on that Miami trade offer for the Bucks and Giannis. But that's like, I haven't seen anything prior to that.
So for those of you who don't know, Kenny Beecham, a YouTuber who covers NBA content. He's been covering it for years now. Started off doing 2K content. He's been covering YouTube. NBA content on YouTube now since his 2K time. He recently was given a spot on SiriusXM NBA network, like a little radio show, basically. The hour he was given cut into the 3 hours that Brian Scalabrine and whoever his co-host was, I can't remember what the co-host's name is. That's how irrelevant the dude was that was doing the slandering. He was given an hour that cut into their 3 hours. So now they only had 2 hours to talk basketball content. Whatever. And he got on there just like slandering Kenny Beecham, and like the whole time Brian Scalabrine was trying to stop, like I don't know if you want to go down that hole or whatever, blah blah, things like that. But he's like super upset because he's like, who is this guy, blah blah, things like that. And the whole thing that he didn't realize this entire time was that everybody on the internet is like, who are you? We know White Mamba. We don't know who you are. And you're talking about Kenny Beecham, who is famous on YouTube for NBA content. Like, you have to understand, older people listen to the radio.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm SiriusXM, I'm trying to do something to get younger people listening to the radio.
Yeah.
These younger people don't know who you are. You know, like I said, everybody knows White Mamba, but we don't know who you are. And he got on there and straight embarrassed himself on the West End. So I want on their episode of their talk show, whatever. So I just wanted to ask you how you feel about that, of like the social media space coming basically like a changing of the guard when it comes to how we intake NBA news.
I like the social media space of like people talking sports because it kind of gives people a perspective from the non-athlete.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like sometimes when you're listening to like NBA players talk like basketball, they go over a lot of the X's and O's that maybe like the casual listener won't even know about.
Yeah,
like when they name out plays, I just like I have not played in like an actual organized basketball to even know what these plays are.
Which is the reason that makes Jeff Teague's podcast so great.
Yeah,
because they bring in other NBA guys and stuff like that, but the natural setting of their podcast is just him, the NBA guy, and his two homeboys that have just been along for the rides and hearing stories and stuff like that. They basically on the outside looking in when it comes to the NBA and everything. All we do is watch the game, whatever. So the same way we're getting the stories from Jeff Teague, they're getting them. And they're commenting to them. And then they little information they got, basically making it more consumable for for the everyday listener.
That's why I also like watching. It's called The Arena now, but Gil's Arena. Yeah. Oh, have you heard about that situation?
No, I haven't.
So apparently, Gilbert Arenas is no longer part of that. With because I think he was trying to negotiate a contract with Underdog, who is like the sponsor big, yeah. And so he's no longer on there. People were speculating that it was because of Skip Bayless and whatnot like that, but no, I think it was because he was trying to renegotiate a contract with them. He said the good thing is like the show's name is called The Arena, so now if he wanted to, he could recreate something and still call it Gil's Arena because he owns that name. But yeah, so right now he's no longer a part of that, which is unfortunate because he had a good thing going with that. Like he built that up from nothing.
Yeah. And honestly, now and the counterparts and everything on it, made it also good, but and like banter back and forth with Young and I made it good. But I'm not. I came there originally for Gilbert Arenas takes, so I'm not watching that as much now if Gil's not a part of it. So
Yeah, like I do like when Kenyon Martin has his takes and they be going back and forth. But yeah, it was mainly because of Gilbert Arenas because like he actually broke stuff down in like layman's terms a lot of the times. So it was easy for me to understand what he's talking about, especially when he goes on his little rants and he has his information on his phone that he's looking down at. But he gets his point across in a way where I'm like, I understand what he's saying. So yeah, that situation, I don't know like the full details of it, but yeah, he's not a part of it right now, and I think it's because of the contract negotiations,
which is crazy. I say everybody money hungry. So
I mean, listen, if I build something from the ground up, I'm definitely renegotiating my contract, because this was just a thought that I had, and I had a studio built in my house for this. I'm pretty sure it was initially out of his house. So yeah.
Yeah, no. I thought it were a long period of time, so. But yeah, I'm not coming to that show to watch Skip Bayless talk about things, and I find Skip Bayless somebody interesting to talk about stuff with, but
even okay,
Skip's is all sport type of person.
Even Skip Bayless being on there was weird from the beginning, because he was brought over to talk football on the gridiron part of it, and then he just kind of like slowly but surely made his way to the NBA section of it, but he was mainly brought over to talk football with the ex-football players. So but I don't think it's because of Skip Bayless. People are going to say that, but I'm pretty sure it's not because of Skip Bayless. I think it's more money. I think when things like this happen, it's money is involved.
Yeah. Because honestly, I'm not like I said, I ain't coming to watch the arena for Brandon Jennings takes and Mr. Kobe's 81. So like that's not what I'm here.
I mean, I'll watch it for. I'll watch for Nick Young. I'll watch for Nick Young.
Which is he? Is he even gonna still do it?
I think he was on their last episode.
He might have been, but I feel like if Gil out, Nick Young could just be playing out a contract at this point, because
could be
like that's like Gil like his close homeboy.
Yeah.
So I don't see that. I don't see him sticking around for much longer either. So
nah, definitely. I feel like they could all just be on a contract right now, and once the contract is up, they could go back with Gil and do something new, and then Underdog will just be out of another program.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to say. Because like say our podcast blow up and everything, and somebody we try to do a country negotiation, they're like, we're gonna bring in these other people in. We want you stay here though, but if you're not gonna give a contract, we're gonna get rid of Massive and Daisy. Well, y'all think I'm staying here? I'm not staying. What kind of sense is that make? We'll go back again. We'll start this shit up from ground one again before I stay here.
I feel like if somebody ever came to us with like some type of deal, I would only sign it. I would have to talk to y'all, but I'd be like, it has to be a limited amount of time. Like we can't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do anything long term. It'd be something where it's like we just gotta do a short term, something short term, and see how we like it before we commit to anything. Because
that would be the first contract ever in my life that I read front and back.
Just slide me a check. I'm fine.
Okay, Daisy, what's next on the agenda? We've gone over an hour so far.
I mean, that ain't nothing new. Y'all like to yap. But anywho, that brings us to our last segment, Coaching from the Couch, which is just where our host, Mastiff and Banana, give their unqualified opinions about their favorite teams, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Golden State Warriors. So for this episode, I just want to ask a simple question as to how important is this upcoming draft for your teams?
I'll start and keep mine short and let Master get into it because I'm not gonna lie to you, this draft, unless it's trade moves and everything, is not that important for the Warriors. As far as drafting a player, it doesn't help them to a goal they're trying to get to any more or any less, I feel like. Unless the player they just bring in and just happen to be that gem in the West End, which I do find Yaxel and Phylon to be those gems, but the way it's looking like now, they're not going to draft them. They're drafting. Everybody's thinking they're drafting. I can't remember his name right now. But the player they're thinking about drafting, I don't think he's going to fit in the system. So I don't think this draft is very important to the Warriors right now, unless it's because of a trade.
Oh, let me just throw this out there because I was thinking about this during the NBA draft. Should we go live and as like the just for like the lottery picks and kind of go kind of like guess who's going where?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Shoot, if you want to do it for the whole first round, I wouldn't care about that. Down.
Okay, so as far as the Bucks, I think this is an important draft for the Bucks because of the uncertain future of the Bucks right now. It's one of those things where it's if you trade Giannis, you would hope to get picks back to help cover the picks that you've lost by trading for complementary players next to him. And so then it's one of those things where it's like if you trade them, you get draft capital, and you get a pick, an extra pick in this round. And so now you have to make sure that the picks that you select this round are going to be good with the coaching staff. The coaching staff is going to be good with these players.
Yeah.
But if you keep Giannis, then you're most likely only going to have one pick, or you're going to trade that pick to bring in another player, which I don't think they should do. We've been getting older and older as a Bucks organization, and it hasn't helped out. And you've seen what the younger players can do last season. So I feel like fresh legs, good development would help. I'm not going to say Giannis should stay. He's getting older. He wants to win championships. I would just trade him. But I think it's important because it's like the future of like how good the team's going to be rides on what happens during the draft. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's up in the air right now. It's an important draft for the Bucks because of of how like revenue, like how the city reacts to the Bucks and whatnot. It's just it's as a small market, you want the big name here.
Yeah.
But the big name isn't happy, so now you have to
Definitely
try to
more important.
Yeah, so now you have to figure out
towards the future.
what like the future of like now. Are we going to be able to draft someone that'll become a big name, or I mean, you really can't sign anyone because no one really wants to come to Milwaukee. So yeah. So it's one of those things where like talent here has to be homegrown for the most part, or you have to pick them up off the G League or like a throwaway from another team.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we'll say it's a much more important draft for the Bucks than it is the Warriors.
I mean, with Seth getting up there in age and Draymond pretty much, I wouldn't even call it a decline. I just feel like he just hasn't been good.
Well, so I'll say this: Draymond hasn't been great on offense as far as anything other than setting screens and moving it around for Steph for years anyway. I'm not looking for him to do that. But Draymond still is a very solid defender. Like, it's honestly ridiculous of how good a defender Draymond still is. At his height, especially with his age now. He should not be able to move as fast as what he does anymore. It's a lot of things Draymond shouldn't be able to do good anymore, but he still does those things that I want him to do good. So, in the opinion of them two got to ride it out. So, I don't really think any draft-wise is super important to us until them two decide they call it quits. And I'm pretty sure they might do it at the same time because whenever Steph leaves out, I'm pretty sure Draymond's going to follow behind them.
I low key feel like y'all should drive Yexel. Because I feel like with the team like the Warriors, you want someone that'll come in to contribute right away. I feel like LeBaron Pylon would not. I feel like he could. It's possible with how Steve Kerr does play like the younger players, but I feel like Yexel would be more of an immediate impact than LeBaron would.
I definitely would because I think he also does more.
Or a Daimara. I was or a Daimara, which would be a good center for them. But I feel like I low key feel like a team earlier in the draft is going to scoop up like someone in the West is going to scoop him up to help deal with Victor Wembanyama.
That's why I hadn't even honestly, I so much think he's gonna be a sleeper early lottery pick that I haven't even put him on my draft radar for the Warriors.
I wouldn't even be surprised if he went number 5 to the Clippers.
Yeah.
Because the Clippers got Brook Lopez, who is very slow-footed.
Mm-hmm.
I was so ready for him to get off the Bucks.
Yeah.
Like, you can only play him in one defensive scheme, and even that one was bad for him because of how slow he was. Like, heavens forbid you get a swap on him on a guard out there. He can't get back to the paint. He doesn't get rebounds. It was just bad.
Yeah. And Brook Lopez, I don't know. Honestly, kudos for Brook for lasting in the league as long as he did. He has, because I thought he was going to be out years ago, and him finding that little shot that he has every now and again saved them. But I thought he long should have been met his course.
Yeah, he has changed his play style, but it's like with the change of play style, he doesn't get rebounds like he used to.
Yeah, and because for majority of his career, he was just a sturdier version of his brother, who was just a semi-better version of Anderson Varejao. Him adding that shot is something that he needed to do to sustain being in the league for as long as he had been, because he should have went the way of his brother.
Yeah.
And guys like them in the league honestly make it hard for me to understand why Blake Griffin brother didn't get a shot in the league, because he literally was just Brook Lopez.
Listen, it's all politics.
It definitely is.
Like, I'm surprised that the players like Ryan Rollins on the Bucks got the playing time that he did, because he was he a second round pick? I feel like he wasn't like a lottery pick or anything.
I believe he had. I'm pretty sure he had to be a second round.
He was a second round pick in 2022.
Yeah.
So, like, second round picks don't normally stay around if you haven't if there hasn't been any like showcase for you contributing anywhere, because he was drafted to Atlanta, but then was traded to Golden State. He did play a little bit over there, not like heavy minutes or anything like that, but then he was in the G League a lot, and then he went to the Wizards, which he played a little bit, but he was with the G League a lot, and then the Bucks picked him up. And
he became all right there, but I honestly just feel like he got the playing time that he did there is because the Bucks didn't have a better option.
True, that's true, but I think the first year he didn't get a lot of minutes, but he showed like great defensive effort and being like a good on-ball defender. That it got to the point where it was like, well, you need defense, he needs to be out there, and then he was able to start showcasing his offense. But defense gets you on the floor.
It definitely does, because I mean, Gary Payton has stayed on the floor.
let me think. I just had a thought of something I want to ask you.
Oh no.
Listen, we kept talking and it went away.
That quick. That's so sad. Tragic.
Listen, my short-term memory is terrible, but my long-term memory, I remember something from years ago perfectly.
I'm the same exact way. That's why I got so many stories, but I can't really tell you what I did yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember. It'll come to me eventually.
You know what? Maybe that means that it is time to close out the podcast. Do either of you have any final last words before we close it out?
I do, but it's about Shams, and I don't want to cuss.
No, go for it. I want to hear it.
It wasn't too much. It was just fuck Shams, but
oh my gosh. Okay. Beautiful last words. How about you, Mastiff?
I just shared a sentiment. Oh
my gosh. May we never meet Shams in real life. Well,
I know what I wanted to ask.
Okay.
What are you and it could be something that we just touch on for a second here and just pick up next on the next pod, but what are your thoughts on like the most improved player award?
You said what now? What are my thoughts on
the most improved player award?
I feel like a lot of years it goes to a player that. Well, so first, who won it this year? Because I didn't pay attention to it.
It was Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
So I don't know his injury history, but I feel like a lot of years they awarded like a comeback player award. Like a player that got injured and came back and like balled out or whatever. Like a player that wasn't really doing too much, then got an injury, came back and balled out. So they give it to him as like a participation trophy. That's what it feels like to me. That's why I feel like they should just name it the comeback player award or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure they have, but it just don't get as much publicity.
I feel like it should be changed, or the criteria of it needs to be kind of redefined, because was it not this year, but last year they gave it to Cade Cunningham, and he was the number one pick in his draft class. So it's like, I don't think it's most improved for him. It's more so living up to the expectation of your draft status. But like this year, and this is me just riding for my guy Ryan Rollins, who was a second round pick, who jumped up from I don't even know, single digits scoring to almost 20 points a game. I feel like that is improvement. Like Nikhil Alexander Walker, he won because he actually played really well for Atlanta, but he was like the number 17 pick. And he's played well previously in Minnesota. He wasn't the primary option over there, but he played well over there. So I don't know how much improvement that was compared to like someone like Ryan Rollins, or who else was in the running? Jalen Duren, who could have won that also, but he was a top pick as well. So he's
I'm about to say also he did pick up his play from last year, but like it wasn't like he didn't just make a crazy. He didn't just change drastically.
Yeah,
he learned more in the league. He learned how to do stuff more in the league, and he played better. I don't think you give most improved to that. Most improved should go to a guy like Ryan Rollins.
Yeah, I feel like he was robbed, but you know, it's the NBA.
Was he even in the running for it?
I think he was not. He wasn't even top 3.
Oh yeah, see.
So
like
most improved.
I feel
player.
like the award should go to players like that 1 year Seth Curry had for Portland Trailblazers. That type of energy. Somebody that you didn't expect to come out and do things, but they came out and was a focal point of a team or something like that. No matter how the team did, because that's how they do it. A lot of these awards is that, like, I'm honestly surprised Russell Westbrook won the MVP when he did, but that was mainly because he got the team to the playoffs. Usually it don't go to a guy like that. Because they also want to see team success, which what does my team success got to do with me improving as a player?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was like the whole MVP thing when James Harden was like, I think he said something about it being like team success, but then like Giannis won back to back, and then he changed up his whole narrative on that one because it was like individuals. Yeah, it was just that was I thought that was weird.
Yeah, he was just salty about not winning.
But no, I think I think the most improved player award, like the criteria needs to be changed on that. I feel like if you were at least in the top 10, you should never be in the running for it.
Yeah.
Because you were drafted
that's like
based on your potential.
That's like Zion coming back and dropping 30 next year and they're giving him most improved player.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what he's supposed to be doing. We drafted him number 1.
Exactly. But yeah. I think that's it.
I said we done rambling, Daisy.
Sure, y'all are. One more thing. But okay, all right. So we will call that for the podcast. Thank you guys again for tuning in to episode 3 for Cross Court Conversations. Hopefully you join us during our next conversation as we talk more NBA news and just ramble. Have a good day, good night, good evening, whatever.
She's sleepy, y'all.